Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Larry the Chipmunk. The news department has asked me before returning to the station to do some interviews with some local citizens in the area to see of their reactions. This is sort of a man on the street, or in my case, a chipmunk on the street reactions from people walking down the main street here. Excuse me, can you tell me please what your reaction is? I'm sorry, sir. Could you speak a little louder into the microphone? Again, I ask you, sir, what was your personal reaction to hearing about the guilty sentencing by the judge in the Alvin case regarding his attempted murder of Dave Seville?
Well, thank you for the chance to speak with you. Never been on the radio or television before. My reaction, I'd say this about what happened at the courthouse. I've been trying to carry as much information around with me, hearing it on radio or seeing it on the news at night at home, and I think the judge was right this morning given that decision he made about Alvin. I mean, this guy, he may not have succeeded, but it was his intention obviously to kill Dave, and I personally believe that the judge was correct. Whether or not they ought to give him all this special consideration or accommodation in jail, I don't agree with that. I think he ought to be left right there with the general public. Don't think he ought to be given any special treatment whatsoever.
Yes, sir, thank you. How did you feel when you heard about the verdict? What do you think the process of our judicial system is today? Do you think what's your opinion about that?
Well, I heard the verdict actually on my car radio. I went into work this morning a little late and had it tuned to y'all's station, as a matter of fact, KCHP, and they interrupted and told everybody that the verdict had come in from the judge. Of course, we all knew what the jurors had already decided a couple of weeks ago. But my assumption was that they were probably going to uphold the jury's recommendation. They usually do. I mean, the judges don't lean in their own feelings about this thing. But to be quite honest with you, I'd say that the judge was biased. I mean, you could tell that in what he was saying in court. And I don't think Alvin got a fair trial because of the judge, his demeanor towards him. I think he was already ticked off at Alvin for what had happened anyway, so...
Just one other question, if I may, sir. Do you think that he should have been given the death penalty? Do you think that justice has been served, that the judge feels that he should be given a life sentence? What's your opinion, sir?
No, I do agree with the death penalty. I think people who kill or try to should be electrocuted or given lethal injection. I think Alvin is either a malingerer or he faked this whole thing to make people really believe he was mentally disturbed, mentally ill. So I think the judge's decision about life was the absolute wrong decision to make. I think he should have had Alvin given the death penalty. I know the jury didn't recommend it because usually they feel pity for these people when they commit crimes. And they don't look at the horrendousness of the act itself. I mean, you shoot somebody point blank range like Alvin did, and it's just impossible to see any other outcome from them. I mean, they should have said, look, this is attempted murder, and you ought to get what the sentence should be what fits the crime itself. I mean, if you try to kill somebody, they should kill you. I think that's the only logical way to interpret it, because if this guy gets out, I guarantee you he'll probably try to kill somebody again. And if people are feeling pity for him now, they're going to feel pity for him in 20 years and say, oh, let's let him out. He's been rehabilitated. So I'm totally for the death penalty.
Well, on behalf of KCHP TV and radio, thank you very much for allowing us to talk with you, sir, today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me. Can I say something to my wife? Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's get an interview now from, excuse me, ma'am. Yes, I'm with KCHP television and radio. We're doing a sort of man-on-the-street interview with some citizens here in Los Angeles to get your reactions to the sentencing of Alvin the Chipmunk. And just, what is your reactions having heard about this?
Hello there. Yes, I'd like to get my reactions. First of all, to say this to all the ladies, I think we all agree that Alvin is the cutest of any of the chipmunks, and my opinion is that I think the judge was wrong. I think he should have reevaluated how the general public feels about him. I know that what he did was a travesty, but I mean, we have to forgive, don't we? We have to try to help people who are suffering in these situations and get them help. So I don't think the judge was right, but that's my own opinion.
Well, how exactly, ma'am, did you hear about the verdict? I mean, did you hear it on the radio, or did you just see it maybe on the television news coverage the last couple of days? They would begin talking about it. So how did you find out about it?
Well, I heard about the verdict actually on the radio. We were me and the other secretaries in my office were really just discussing the day's work ahead, and someone had the radio turned on, and we heard about it.
Okay, just one other question before we end the interview with you, ma'am. Do you think that it was fair what Alvin was given as a sentence, that he was going to be given life in prison and not possibly the death penalty in this case? What's your opinion, ma'am, about the judge's decision of the case?
As far as my concerns about the death penalty, I don't agree that this is something that really we should have as an option in our state. California's really we're a melting pot of different cultures, and I think we would be better off just to give these folks a chance to be rehabilitated in prison. Perhaps maybe later on Alvin himself could have been or could be released back into society. I mean, whatever his problems are, maybe he can actually be treated and be able to live a normal life. So, no, I don't agree with the death penalty. Yes, thank you very much for letting me speak with you. I've never seen any of your people out on the streets before, so this is really neat for me to have a chance to talk with you today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for talking with us today. This is Larry the Chipmunk speaking. Man on the reporter. We've been talking all day about this with adults, and we saw this child here at the corner eating an ice cream cone, and we thought we'd ask, what do you think about this verdict decision? I mean, I know it's not something you probably know much about, but do you think they did the right decision in sentencing Alvin to life in prison?
I think they make the wrong decision. I think they made the wrong decision myself. I think they shouldn't have tried him. I think they should have let him go. That's what I think. I don't think they were right.
Do you think it'll ever change your feelings about Alvin now that this has happened? Do you think maybe kids are going to probably feel different about him and about what he stood for, that he just tried to help kids have a fun time listening to his music and seeing him on television?
No, I'll never change how I feel about Alvin. I don't think anybody will. He was a nice chipmunk to me.
We're going back now to the studio, and thank you for letting me interview these folks. Now back to the station.
We'll be back in 10 seconds to allow all our stations to identify themselves and to join the network.